Konnichiwa friends, I am Sekai X Arts and Animations, and last week I did a video redesigning the Pyro Archon from Genshin Impact. Now at the end of that video I said that there were other designs that were not my favorite and that I might do a video redesigning some of those, and well, now that video is here. Starting off, we have Emily. Now before we get too far in, I just want to say that all of these are my personal opinion. They are not meant to insult the creator or people who do like the design. This is just a fun little exercise that I'm doing to adjust the characters more to my own liking. I hope that you have fun watching it, whether you like the original design or mine better. Again, it's all just for fun. I'm also going to be tracing the poses just because this video is about the redesign itself, not anatomy, and I figured I wouldn't waste your time making you watch me mess around with posing. To begin, I'm just going to list off the things that I dislike about Emily's design so that you all can clearly see what I'm changing, though I think it will be pretty obvious. For one thing, I don't feel like her design is that unique. She has the basic detached sleeves, leg slit, etc., which I'm not wholly against, but usually it's accompanied by personalized details. However, Emily's design just feels like she was designed with Genshin women in mind, not specifically her. In addition, Emily is from Fontaine. However, aside from her lacy hat, she doesn't feel particularly Fontainian to me. In fact, if I didn't know she was from Fontaine, I probably would have thought she was from Mondstadt, because her design reminds me so much of Lisa. And this isn't that Hoyoverse was struggling with her design. All of Emily's concept arts were super cute and unique, which I feel is another reason that makes Emily's final design so disappointing. The concept arts were so great, and what comes out to me feels just like a dressed up version of a teacher from Madoka Magica. Okay, enough of that. On to fixing her. For one thing, I got rid of her mullet and replaced it with long hair partially tied up in a braided bun. I kept the Lolita style from a lot of her concepts and her average body height. Emily is a perfumer, so to nod to this, I gave her a perfume bottle in her hand as well as one hanging from her bow, and I made her top hat rose-themed, which is a common scent in perfumes. I gave her lots of bows and layers to add to her outfit as well. Now, one thing that is really difficult when designing Genshin characters who you want to feel authentic is that they all have a bunch of patterns. Not only does every Genshin character have intricately designed clothes, but almost everything has its own pattern, so I made up a few for Emily. In terms of colors, Emily is a dendro character, which is the nature or plant element for those of you who don't play, so I knew that her outfit would feature green in one way or another. For an accent color, I chose pink because pink and green look really nice together, and a staple color in Lolita is pink. Can you tell that I like Lolita? For her metal accessories, I chose gold, and finally I have her vision hanging down from her hat on a chain. So this is my final redesign of Emily. I really like how she turned out, but again, that is just my personal preference. Let me know in the comments if you would be more or less likely to pull for Emily if she looked like this. Okay, next up we have Dori. I know that her design is supposed to be rather garish due to her personality, and I applaud Hoyoverse for that. I think they really hit the mark of she's garish. But I also still don't like her design that much, so I'm going to try to still make her look over the top, but also more visually pleasing. I think one thing that will help with this is fixing her color palette. Right now it is so saturated everywhere that it gives the eye no room to rest. In addition, Dori is supposed to be an adult, albeit a short adult. However, to me, she feels like a kid wearing a tricked out shimmer and shine costume, so I'm going to try to remedy that as well, while keeping her cute. For starters, I raised the waist on her pants and made them slightly less big. This gives the illusion that she has longer, skinnier legs, even though I kept the same proportions, and this will help her look more like a short adult rather than a kid. I decked her out in a bunch of jewelry, from necklaces to rings and to bracelets, and I gave her some more flowing elements, the veil and semi-skirt. I kept the hair virtually the same because in all of the new stuff I added, I felt her simple short hair still worked really well. For her colors, I kept them mostly the same, but I really wanted to highlight purple and gold as they are known as signs of wealth. In addition, Dori is an electro character, so purple is a must in her design. Well, it's a must unless you're Beidou. For the pink, I darkened and desaturated it. This helped not only lessen the color impact by having it be less bright, but it also varied the color values. In Dori's original design, her colors are white, black, bright pink, and bright purple. This basically gives us three color values: dark, very saturated midtones, and light. So in my redesign, I wanted to have a few more values. Black is still the dark and white is still the light. However, there is now, because I changed to pink, a semi-dark. I also added in a dark blue as another semi-dark. Purple remains mid-tone, but I lightened the golds a bit to make it a semi-light. I think it helped her color problem a lot. And there we have it. Here's my Dori redesign. And finally, we have Yanfei. I actually don't have a huge problem with Yanfei's design in general, other than the fact that it's a bit scandalous for my taste. What bothers me most is that she's a lawyer and dressed like that. If I were being put on trial in Liyue for something that I didn't do, and my friend goes, "Oh dude, I know this great lawyer, I've got you," and then on my court date this girl walks in, I'd be like, "Oh my gosh, I'm going to jail." For someone who's dressed as a lawyer and seems to be so passionate about her job, I would think she would dress in a way that respects this. Crop top and short shorts are just very unprofessional, so it's time to fix her up. For starters, I covered her midriff and gave that poor girl some pants. As a newbie, I mained Yanfei and always felt bad taking her to Dragonspine because she would be so cold. I removed the fluff from her boots and made them a little bit less big. I kept the skirt curtain thing, but I wanted to make it feel more like a hip accessory rather than an actual bottom, like how Scaramouche has some pieces of fabric hanging at his sides for decoration. I kept her hair pretty much the same except for that I chopped off the shortened bits by her horns because I just thought they looked weird. I also kept her hat but scaled it down significantly. I didn't change as much on Yanfei as I did on Dori because again, it wasn't the initial design that bothered me, but rather how it meshed with her character. In terms of colors, I again kept it virtually the same. I added a splash of light green to some of the beads and the belt underneath her shirt just because I thought it would help accent her eyes. I also emphasized the black in her original outfit by making her new leggings and now full shirt black. This is because Yanfei is, as previously mentioned, a lawyer, and black is often seen as a professional color. As Yanfei is someone who takes her job very seriously, I thought that adding a bit more of that formal color would be a nice touch. Looking back, maybe I should have changed her boots now because they're a little out there, but I also thought that I didn't want to make a new character with Yanfei's color palette, and I felt the boots are kind of a staple for Yanfei, so maybe I'm actually kind of glad that I kept them. And here we have it, our girl Yanfei looking so much more professional and so much warmer. Now this wasn't all the characters that I would like to redesign, so I may come out with a part 2 to this one day, but this video is getting pretty long so I'll stop it here. Plus I've done a lot of redesigns lately, so I'll probably do something different for a little while before circling back to this. Anyways, thank you all so much for watching, please consider liking and subscribing, and I will see you all in the next one.